Hello, hello, and welcome to our live stream about how much we hate the motherfucking Supreme Court.
And that's probably the most mildest way she could have put it.
Exactly. Hope everyone's doing well on this
And
lovely day.
and paid attention to the description of the video. This will be getting political and you have been warned. And the hashtag should tell you where we stand.
Yeah. In case we aren't clear, we'll be clear by the end of the stream. So, and hopefully we can give a voice to some others too that would like to make it clear. So, how's everyone? Let's say hello to all of our 10 people watching us tonight right now. Hopefully, if you're catching the replay, thanks. Love you guys too. So good to see you, Big Papa. Good to see you, Ronnie G. Sharemare, always doing her thing as the moderator. Love it. Who else is here? Tessie. Hi, Tessie. So good to see you, Gretchen. Good to see you, Gretchen. Thank you very much for the hair ties. I'm going to be posting a picture later in the Discord. I love them, and I loved your note too. That was so cute. Hi Shay, how are you? Shyla's here. Is that everybody? Nikki May, hello, hello, ma'am. Did I miss anyone? I think that's everybody.
I think you got everyone. If we did, we're sorry. And I'm glad you remember to say thanks to the people might be watching on the replay, because in my head I'm like, who would even watch us, let alone watch the replay?
We get 10 people watching the replay and 10 people here right now, and we're just happy about that. So, anyone that will listen to us rant about our feminism and our political views at this moment.
And you guys did make X-Men very, very upset. I just want you to know that.
He is angry. And he just doesn't know what to do with himself. But you know what, X-Man, I hope you watch this live stream too, because you probably are all for the Supreme Court repealing the landmark decision of 1973. And you know what? Fuck you for that too. So.
And you know what I say to people that say things like, well, what if that aborted baby had been the person to cure cancer? I would say, what if that aborted baby had been just like X-Men?
Exactly.
If we're going to get into the what if games.
I mean, good point. Stacy 1, X-Man 0. Did you get the TikTok that I sent you today? Like an hour and a half or 2 hours ago?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I haven't been on TikTok. No, I'm sorry.
Ooh, this is okay. So this TikTok is different. So I just saw a TikTok of a female Marine vet who took down her flag and replaced it with a coat hanger. Quite the powerful statement. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're back to now, right? It's back alley coat hanger abortions because we can't get medical coverage.
And just there were still the same amount, if not more, abortions being performed before they were legal and safe.
It doesn't stop anything. Listen, this is the same argument that Republicans, I'm just going to put it out there because I fucking hate them now. I'm so done with this whole situation. I don't hate all Republicans. Love you guys. Mean it. But anyway, just can't really stand your viewpoints on things right now. So it's like gun control. And which, by the way, that just went through there was a decision in the Supreme Court about that too, which
that states don't have the right to determine your rights.
Yes. So the Supreme Court wrote they ruled this week, because all the rulings are coming out this week. This is what they do. They hear all the cases for the year. They let the lawyers come in and try those cases in the Supreme Court. they write opinions, and then they make a ruling based on those votes and those opinions, and whether it's dissenting or for, whatever the case may be. So, and then they all come out at once, and then they take like 3 or 4 months off, and then they come back and they do it all over again. So we only get Supreme Court rulings once a year. And right now, we're getting a whole bunch. It's a whole motherfucking shit show in the Supreme Court. A whole ass just mockery of our government system, in my opinion, allegedly, because they ruled today, or not today, a couple days ago, that they're expanding gun rights because states do not have the right to determine gun laws. And in that specifically, they ruled that New York could not tighten their gun laws.
Yes.
Right? So bullshit. It's just bullshit. Like, people who say we shouldn't have gun laws because then people are just going to have illegal guns. Well, guess what? Women are going to have illegal abortions because they need them. Like, make it make sense. I can't.
Do you know who a woman who is pregnant is most likely to be murdered by? The father of the person she is carrying.
Yeah. That's a great statistic. I love that for all of us.
Well, you know what would like cause that statistic to increase?
Women not being able to abort children, babies that are unwanted by the fathers.
I mean, we have states that will entertain giving assaulters parental rights once they serve their sentence. So leaving women without the option for abortion, you're leaving that as a possibility. Like, not only do you have to live with what happened to you, now you have to raise a child that you had to put your body through to birth, and then you might have to share them with the person who did that to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they don't think through this stuff. They don't think about it. So the TikTok that I sent you was your favorite politician, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Oh, I've probably seen it because I sent you one too, right?
Oh, I didn't see the one you sent. Listen, we don't check DMs if you can't figure that out, because we don't even check our own to each other. Where she says,
we're going to keep babies or keep children in the womb as safe as.
Yes.
Yeah, you can pull it up and play TikTok. It. Should we pull that up and just play it?
Yeah, let's just play it. Let's just play it, because what the fuck, Sarah?
Did you send it through
TikTok?
Oh, okay.
Hey, Mama T. Hey, Julie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I sent you the same.
I think mine might be stitched with another person, but I was just like, it is actually, but hi, Just Chat. How are you? Yeah, I'm just, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what did she just say?
It's taking forever for me to log in because I don't actually use TikTok on my computer.
Yeah, that's okay. You guys are going to love this. You're going to love it, love it, love it. She's just so, she's just like her daddy. They don't make any sense. I also saw a TikTok that it was a woman who was speaking at a Trump rally, and she's running for re-election somewhere. And I'm going to have to find it. And she says that this ruling was a victory for white children or white families, something like that. And she,
yes,
yeah, and she
right for families or something, but she's like for white families.
Yeah. I'm like, sure, Jan. I think I tweeted it.
Yeah, I laughed. Not like, haha, like, yep, this is the world we live in.
Yep, because we know what she meant. She said what she meant, but she had to walk it back because people called her on it, you know.
All right.
We will make sure that when a kid is in the womb, they're as safe as they are in a classroom.
What? What? God.
Yeah.
We will make sure that when a kid is in the womb, they're as safe as they are in a classroom.
In a classroom.
Yes.
In a classroom. Have you guys watched the news lately? Does this dumb bitch watch the news?
And I want to say that speech was done like it wasn't done like yesterday either. Like it was done shortly after.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's going to be my next governor, y'all.
I mean, I know. Listen, you got to move. Whether that speech was done pre-Uvalde or whatever, like the last one in Texas.
There's so many of them that you kind of you're like, I don't know if I can name them all off.
It doesn't even matter because there's school shootings like on the regular, y'all. Like it's a constant thing. That one was really horrible. So it made the 24-hour news cycle for a few days. But there's a lot of them that you guys don't even hear about because no one dies during these shootings.
Or they're just not big enough. Like it was only like one student and then the student that had the weapon. Because now we even sorry, 1 or 2 people getting shots, no big deal. Call me back when you have like 7 or 8. Thanks.
And we're so numb to it. All of us as a people, we are numb to this stuff.
There's people will walk up to you at work and be like, hey, did you know there's another school shooting? And you're like, again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was a time when everyone would have stopped work. Every computer would have been pulling up this news story, trying to follow what was going on. Now it's just like, oh man, that's awful. You keep going about your day.
Yeah. Does anyone remember Columbine? Like the world froze during that. But in the, Sandy Hook, everyone was mortified because it was like the first elementary school. But now it's just like, when's the next one going to happen? Who knows?
Just chat. I'm telling you, we're just going to have to get out. Because it's definitely going to be Governor Huckabee again.
I just can't believe it. Like, how can people vote for her? Seriously.
Well, and it's also like the majority of the population doesn't vote for, but we all live in like the same cluster of areas. So our vote counts as much as like a county that has a third of the population that this county over here has. And so it's really stupid.
I know. I mean, there's just so many issues to the real issue is that we have news cycles that lie to people, and we have a lot of really ignorant people that don't actually do fact finding, and they believe what they read on the Facebook news. Like that's the extent of their political research before they go and vote at the ballot box. And it's kind of sad.
I mean, we have a radio station here, and I know I've told you about it, and it's the local news talk station, but it plays the traffic reports every 10 minutes, and it's the only station that does. So you have to tune into it, but you have to do it a couple minutes early so you don't miss it, right? These people that call in, as long as it's an R by their name, they're voting for them. They do not care.
Right. Like they just
they cannot tell you how Tom Cotton has improved their way of life at all in the entire time he's been there. But by God, they're voting for him.
Yeah, because he's Republican. This is the thing. People don't have a middle ground anymore. There's no middle ground. Like, I really feel like I'm on the fence. And we talked about this when we streamed a couple weeks ago. Are you guys proud we streamed twice in the same month? Like,
Right?
I am super proud of us. But point is, we talked about this. We talked about how, like, typically you and I are both neither conservative nor liberal in our viewpoints, that we kind of are middle ground on a lot of things, like fiscally conservative and socially liberal. And I am sliding completely away from that, in that I cannot support anyone who supports the Supreme Court right now. I cannot support anyone who supports Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I can't do it.
And the policies that they're passing are far from fiscally conservative.
Exactly. And
so there's nothing to offer to me anymore.
Right. Because we don't know. We can't trust any of it. And
like, if we're going to spend the money anyway, I'd rather spend it on the people instead of spend it on a larger military.
Yeah, and they're going to lie about the money. Both sides, they lie about money. It's amazing to me.
I'm telling you, I went full to the left this last election. I was there like, come on, Bernie. I have Bernie Sanders merchandise. Like, I did not go into this like, I can't wait to get the chance to vote for Joe Biden.
No, of course.
But let's be real here, okay? Between those two choices, there's only one that makes a lick of fucking sense.
Yep. And we hate him too. So, like,
yes. Like, people at work will say that to, like, me and my husband and stuff. They're like, what's your boy doing? And you're like, let me explain something to you. You're the one who has Trump flags welded to your truck.
Right.
There is not even a Biden magnet on my car. I don't have a guy. This is not a team for me.
Like, no. And okay, so I saw a tweet, and we're talking about politics. We're going a little bit off of Roe v. Wade for a minute. Just because I want to talk about how fucking stupid people are. I saw a tweet where a guy was tweeting about that truck full of immigrants that, like, a lot of people were dead. They found them in Texas.
Like 40, wasn't it?
Yes, there's, I think, 16 others in the hospital. There were children on board, and there was no air, no water in this truck. And this guy tweeted it and said, "That's on you, Biden." What? No, yes. Seriously. Like, I don't like Biden, but I am not blaming him for that. And by the way, in 2017, when Trump was president, the same shit happened. Look it up. Yes. So is that on Trump? No, I don't see a tweet that says that's on you, Trump. I mean, I'm sure there were at the time by people like far left people who wanted to blame Trump for literally everything also. But it just pisses me off.
And have some fucking compassion. Think about how bad your life would have to be, how scared you were, how completely just ready to give up you were, that you would put yourself and your family in the back of a truck with no ventilation, no air, no water, no food, in hopes to get somewhere better.
Right.
Imagine how bad your life would have to be like, you know what? Let's try this.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you what, that is a last-ditch effort. That is a Hail Mary.
The amount of people that cross the Rio Grande and risk their lives and risk their children's lives and don't make it because they're trying to get to freedom. Like, it's awful because we sit here angry about what's happening to our country, and there are still people who would rather be here where our rights are being taken away from us because it is so much worse where they are. And I mean, that's a scary thought, right? Like, in what direction are we going? When if our rights are being taken away from us, how long before we end up like that?
Well, I mean, how long do we end up where people stop wanting to come here because we're like that?
Well, yeah, that'll tank our economy real fast, and then we actually will become.
Especially since most of our real estate has been owned by foreign corporations. If they don't
Yeah,
want to come here anymore, guess what?
I know, but people don't see it that way. They want to build a wall. They they want to take our rights away. Um, yeah, we'll go, Julie. We'll go move to. I don't know if we should move to Scotland, but we'll consider it. We'll look at your government system first. I do love your socialized medicine.
I
I
think
just
like people born like in the Louisiana Purchase used to be able to like ask for citizenship in France. So I might try that.
Yeah, that might still be a law, but they haven't. It's like
Like,
one of
hey,
those.
you never repealed it, and there's just like this mass exodus of.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm happy to report that there are companies who are now saying that they will pay um, travel for women to get the necessary health care that they need if they're in a state that bans abortion. And I think that that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, JC, that's they passed these laws just to get ready for when they overturned Roe v. Wade.
Yep. Like just there's a 50-50 chance that they're going to overturn this when they actually put their opinion out next year. So we're just going to pass this law now, and then it can go into effect immediately. That's how much they wanted to take away women's rights. That's how badly they wanted to do it, that they preemptively passed laws so that they could take women's rights immediately.
Yeah, that I mean that's what I think Clarence Thompson already mentioned that the challenge.
Yes.
I
So
was
he
going to
he
look it
has
up
a
to
list.
make sure, but I think he mentioned it, didn't he?
Yes. So this is the next one that he wants to go after. Um. So he has a list, and the list was contraception, and then there was we've already got the prayer in school. That decision came down yesterday. Which amazing. Like I can't even put into words how I feel about that decision right now. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but he had it was like he wants to go after contraception, and then I believe there was another one. What was the other one about? Do you remember? There's a few.
Contraception that
My brain is lost right now.
I don't even remember, but I'm sure we will as we keep talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google Clarence Thomas's list.
No, he
And
definitely won't be going after Loving v. Virginia. It's funny he didn't mention that one at all.
oh yeah, so he doesn't want to go after that one, but the next one is LGBTQIA plus marriage and rights. He wants to go after same sex marriage. Yeah. No, Loving v. Virginia he won't go after that. No way. Where is it? What's not coming up?
Oh, they passed in schools that coaches and teachers can lead students in prayer.
Yeah, so JC, there was a one of the decisions that they heard this year was a coach at a high school was leading his team in prayer before and after games, and the decision was made that falls under his First Amendment right, that regardless of the separation of church and state, the coach has a First Amendment right to pray with whomever wants to pray with him, and that the players have the choice um, to not engage in that and to not be a part of the prayer. I just don't agree with that. So now, if a teacher wants to pray during class, they're allowed to do so.
And I think all teachers should exercise that right.
All, not just
All
Christian,
teachers.
not just Christian, all teachers.
So you better hope that your kid's teacher is your version of Christian.
Is your say it again for the people in the back? Your version of Christian. How many are
'Cause
there? About 3,000.
Think about just that alone, without even touching any of the other religious. How many versions of Christian there are?
Yeah, I want to say there's about 3,000.
I can just imagine when Timmy comes home, like saying blessings to like Mother Mary or something. Because as you know, Kim, most people in the South don't consider Catholics to be really Christian.
I know we're not real Christian. Well, I'm not Catholic anymore, but I was raised Catholic. But I'm what they like to call fallen Catholic, meaning I don't believe in God. So, he wants to. Okay, so the cases are. How do you say that? Oh, is it Obergefell? How do you say that name? That's same-sex marriage.
Yes.
And then the other ones that he wants to consider due process precedents would be Griswold and Lawrence. So Griswold, I believe, is the contraception one.
I think so, yeah.
Yes. So it's Griswold v. Connecticut, 1965, and that's contraception. And then Lawrence.
And like, could you imagine if you still had to get your husband's permission to get on birth control? Meanwhile, we have actual physicians advocating for birth control to become available over the counter.
I just can't imagine being told, like, no, sorry, you can't have this medicine.
Imagine passing laws and having actual doctors come out and be like, actually, this is very dangerous for people's health, and being like, yes, this is the law.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. Lawrence is also same sex. It's Lawrence v. Texas. So he just wants to get rid of all of them.
Except for
Which
makes you feel awful saying it, but what? Sorry.
Well, I mean, we want separation of church and state unless it's Christian church, unless it's the church that Huckabee runs. then that one's allowed.
And you know, people in Arkansas did not speak fondly of Mike Huckabee when he was the governor. I don't know why they're pretending they did. He didn't even I don't even think he won the primary here when he tried to run.
No, I believe that he did not get many votes at all. But you know, Sarah has a different last name, so they have forgotten the sins of the father. She's different. She's a Sanders.
She
Like
couldn't
Bernie.
talk her way out of a press conference, and we're just going to be like, here's the keys to his state. You deserve them because you were born into a wealthy family.
It's
Praise the Lord.
It's so laughable. Shyla, can you do you have a clip of that? Can you send that to us? About the politician from Missouri saying children who experience the unfortunate circumstance of coming from an ectopic pregnancy deserve a chance at life like anyone else. It's almost funny. Ectopic pregnancies have never and will never be viable, and they do not survive. They kill women. They kill them. No, Julie. I don't believe so. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right that they cannot survive. That's why those pregnancies are always aborted if they don't miscarry on their own before then. Big Papa, interestingly enough, the only person that I've seen that cares about the birth rate is Elon Musk, who says that the birth rate has been down for the last few years. So he's very happy to back this decision. Yeah, idiots. They are idiots. I'm sorry.
He doubled down a couple weeks later and insisted that doctors have no way of determining if a pregnancy is ectopic or just performing abortions for the hell of it. You guys are voting in these people just because they have the R next to their name. So that's what we get.
Someone invent a machine that simulates the pain of an ectopic pregnancy right before death, and let's make men wear that. Please, can we please do this? How are we so dumb?
I'm not that dumb. I'm not dumb. No, these people, they're on their own. That's why I've gone so far to the left lately, because I don't even want to be associated with people that are voting for people that do this.
I don't either. I can't stand it. I can't stand their opinions. Yeah, Elon Musk can eat a whole bag of dicks. You are correct, because I just do not understand why we continue to allow men to make our decisions. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, you can tell the difference between us, Shyla? Stacy has an Arkansas country southern accent, and I have a Florida country southern accent. They're very different. Make the Supreme Court wear it. I should.
Kim's the one that sounds classy.
I don't think I sound classy.
Say piss and vinegar for Julie.
Julie Virgo always gets a crack out of yeah, whenever I say it was someone by the name of Piss and Vinegar. Inside jokes for everybody. Ronnie G, I'm so sorry to hear about was it your cousin? Having to go through that, and but glad that your cousin was able to get medical coverage, medical care before the stupid fucking Supreme Court decided to be stupid fucktards that I fucking hate. So mad. Excuse my words.
Well, 70% of Americans, which is larger than the number of Americans that are not Republican, support Roe v. Wade.
Yep.
Piss and vinegar was a big family term on both sides.
Yeah, Rose, I want to be considered equal to men in my lifetime as well, and I just don't know that it's going to happen. I can hope, and I can continue to speak out for what I believe in, and spread the word and spread knowledge and all those things, but I just feel like we just catapulted ourselves as a country about 60 years back, if not more, because we're still writing opinions as a Supreme Court that are not mildly conservative. They're extremely conservative. They are the evangelical agenda, and they are scary. Did I get the TikTok? Hold on.
We don't sound exactly the same. Kim actually has a good speaking voice. That's why I make her do all the narrations. Yeah, great time to ban abortion when there's a severe inflation and baby formula shortages. And that's why I like to say you're not pro-life, you're pro-birth. Because the same people that are out here advocating for Roe v. Wade to be overturned, that are celebrating these trigger laws that are like, praise Jesus, save the babies, they do not want us to do food stamps. They don't want people taking advantage of the WIC programs. They don't want people taking advantage of, like here we have Our Kids that covers children with health insurance if the parents can't afford it. They hate those programs. You can't hate both things. You can't hate teaching your children about actual sexual education instead of just telling them not to do it. You can't hate that and hate abortion. You can't hate access to contraceptives and birth control for your teenagers and hate abortion. You can't hate both of those things.
And no, they can. They can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. I just sent you a link on Discord. It's Shyla's. It's the TikTok. If you can pull it up.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want. They are the man. The man is going to get. Damn the man. Save the women.
It says I don't have access to this link.
Uh-oh. Hold on. I'm being a boomer right now. Just give me a second, y'all.
Yeah, Tessie, I'm pretty burnt up over this one too. I'm actually very, very upset over this one. And I had all these really good points to make before we hit go live, but then I got so mad that I just not even making any sense at all. Damn the man, save the empire. Only you guys definitely don't want to hear me sing anything about Sugar High. Kim, do you want me to see if Shyla will just send it to me?
Sorry, I muted because I was watching it, and I sent it to you on TikTok just now.
Okay. Now I'm being a boomer.
We're both boomers. Well, we're also just pissed off. Like, I cried. I cried when that decision was made. Here we go.
And my question is, starts on page 3. On line 9, we have a bullet there where, no pun intended, which states that abortion is okay to remove an ectopic pregnancy. Can you explain to me why that exception is in there?
Thank you for the question. This is language I didn't focus on too much. Oh, it's what abortion does not include. I cannot say why that particular language is in here, but to me it would be common sense to put that language in here.
Senator Hamilton, you're recognized for a follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. President. But a child who is, in fact, living out part of his or her early life as the unfortunate circumstance of being an ectopic pregnancy is, in fact, still a unique human being with its own DNA. And I wonder, I guess I just don't understand why we've created an exception where we allow those children to be murdered, but not the others.
Thank you for the question. We've provided very limited exceptions in this bill, but I can only speak to support of the bill's language.
Senator Hamilton, you're recognized for a follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. President. The same kind of general gist on page 4. Remember, our goal is to protect unborn children. The implication, or the unstated implication, would be we want to protect unborn children except those who are the product of rape or incest, or those who happen to be in an ectopic pregnancy. And I wonder how we square that with the idea of justice for all, in that we're killing a person because his daddy was a rapist or an incestual creep. Thank you, Mr. President. And my question is, starts on.
Yeah, that guy can
Fuck that guy for real.
fuck off. Fuck off.
I think that would be
I'm
Missouri.
Seeing red. I can't deal. I can't deal, you know? Like, listen, I realize that there is abuse towards men. I am well aware of it. It is not in the occurrence of abuse towards men does not happen at the same rate that it happens towards women. This man in particular has never ever done any type of research in the field of SA or R. You can tell he doesn't care how a woman would feel. He doesn't understand because he's a man. So he's not putting himself in the shoes of a woman, first and foremost. He's not even attempting to put himself in the shoes of a woman. And he's going to make light of her trauma because he doesn't believe in abortion.
And there is, the thing is there shouldn't be exceptions to it, because it's none of our damn business if somebody has an abortion. It's literally none of our business. For whatever reason they want to do it, it's none of our business.
That's like you can take Tylenol if you have a severe headache or you have a severed limb.
But you need to tell me how severe it is before we determine if you can have this Tylenol.
Right. You can't take Tylenol if your legs hurt at night or if you're sore from working out. So you can only take it if you've had surgery or you have a severed limb or you have a migraine, or if you're a piece of shit, douchebag, sissy baby of a man that doesn't fucking know anything about human rights, then you can take Tylenol. Because
Yes, and you must have tried an ice pack first.
Yeah.
Actually, you have to try alternating. I hear that helps. Hot, cold, hot, cold.
Yes, Shay, that's exactly what he was insinuating.
And be proud to do it. You know, because that's what they'll say. They're like, it's a blessing. That is not a blessing.
No. A blessing from their sky daddy. So I would like to know how many people are going to be adopting children. I'd like to know how many of these stupid piece of shit politicians are planning on adopting children now that this law has that Roe v. Wade has been overturned and we have all these trigger bans going into effect.
Have you seen all these people posting to Twitter and stuff like, we will adopt your baby?
No, and I'm glad I haven't, because fuck those people too.
Because everyone's like, you realize that there are children waiting to be adopted already. Why does it have to be a baby?
And it's not a few. It's a whole lot of children ready to be adopted, waiting. There's
Just
so
ready.
many
They all they want is someone like that will be their mom and dad.
Yep. 30,000 children age out of foster care. Thank you, Shyla. It's very sad.
I shared this to my Twitter earlier. I'm going to play it really quickly just because it's funny.
Please give me the baby. I require the baby. You are but a vessel for me and Daniel to have a baby. Hand over the child. Hand over the child. Put your body through hell. Hell. Spend thousands of dollars to have the baby. Hand over the baby. Please give me the baby. Has to be a son. If it's a girl, we give it back. Give me the baby. I want the baby. Your body, Daniel's choice. Give me the baby. All this was in the Bible for sure. Give me the baby.
That's funny. Has to be a son, not a girl. We'll give it back. I did see a clip of a woman who was saying, she's like, I'm so tired of hearing people say, well, it's in the Bible here and there and blah, blah. This is in the Bible and that's in the Bible. And she's like, guess what? I don't fucking care about your Bible because I don't believe in the Bible. I don't believe in God. So you shouldn't make me.
Hey, you know that clip of Anna from TYT is my favorite thing in the world where she says that.
Yeah, I know. And it just, you shouldn't make us follow laws based on your Bible. You shouldn't. It's not a thing. There is a separation of church and state. Maybe. Not anymore. Did I say fuck the Supreme Court? Did I say that already?
You can say it again.
Like, we need a song. We need a song about the Supreme Court. Yeah, I know it's not in the Bible. Abortion's not in the Bible. There's a lot of stuff that's not in the Bible. There's a lot and being raised religious, I know a ton of things that are in the Bible that, you know, people can't really argue, but they want to shoot out these one sentence lines about stuff and take it out of context.
Comments might be strong, but it's how I genuinely feel. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care what it says. Like, I feel like it's a clown show, like sitting here trying to decipher what your little mythical book say about these very real political issues, right? I don't care if you're Christian. In fact, I will fight for you to have your religious liberty and practice your Christianity. I believe in that. I don't believe in Christianity, which means that you do not get to dictate the way I live my life based on your religion. I don't care what the Bible says. You have every right in the world. All those women who identify with your religion have every right in the world to not get an abortion, to not take birth control, but they do not have the right to dictate my life and what I decide to do with my body. I don't care about your goddamn religion. I'm so tired of having nonstop conversations about what the Bible says. These comments might be strong.
So yeah, that's like one of my favorite clips of all time, as you're well aware.
Yes. And very well said, by the way. I feel exactly the same way. And if you can tell, she's very heated in that. Why? Because our rights were just taken away from us as women. And
this was done like years ago. It just got famous now. Like she went off. She knew this was coming back when Hillary lost the election that she lost.
Yep. I mean, they've been talking about it. And I remember in like 2015 and 2016.
And thinking like, there's no way. Like,
yeah.
There's no way. There's no way that you can just take that.
People were saying they're going to go after same-sex marriage. They're going to go after LGBT rights. And I was like, nah, they passed it. It's law. Like, they're not going to do that. They're not going to reverse it. It's law now. Like, you're safe. And I feel so naive. Like, looking back on that and really feeling like that, I feel like there, and then whenever they were saying, like, if you vote for this person, then the Supreme Court's going to repeal this. And I'm like, but no, the Supreme Court is judicial and the president is executive. And I feel like such an asshole now because it's happening. Exactly what people said. It's happening.
Yeah, I saw that Mermaid in the ICU. Unless you listen to Bill Cassidy, who says that maternal death rates are only bad if we count Black women.
Interesting.
You're protesting this weekend, Shiloh? That's cool.
Women are not safe. You are right. Women are not safe. I am not. I don't feel safe. I don't feel protected. I don't feel like.
And you know, let's talk about this Congress that we have right now and this House of Representatives. You know, they could have codified that into where the Supreme Court couldn't have touched it. In fact, they campaigned on that. They've had time to do that.
Right.
They've had time to end the filibuster and do that if they were so fucking concerned.
But they're not.
And that right there is why I'm also not a Democrat.
Right. Because they don't care. They don't care.
And you know, and I'm not saying all of them because there are a couple. But it's not the Nancy Pelosi's. Because I don't know, I'll just get very angry and I'm just going to start going super political.
Well, go ahead. We already have. I'm telling you. I was watching a thing and I'm not even a fan of AOC. Like, I don't like her. However, I agreed with her and I watched a clip where I was like, wow, she's, you know, I'm glad she's standing up for us and that she's speaking out the way that she is because there's laws, a lot of the trigger bans that are going into effect are not banning abortion fully, but they're banning it after 6 weeks. So because I drive by a billboard every day on my way to work and it's a fetus and it says
you probably drive past a few.
Oh yeah, but this one in particular says at 18 days pregnant you can hear a heartbeat. And I disagree, but okay, whatever. But anyway, AOC was arguing this point about the 6 week ban on abortions. And by the way, Florida has already had this law where I believe it's like 7 weeks. You cannot get an abortion after 7 weeks, and it has to be like a clinical reasoning, and it's there's a lot of you know there's a lot of different rules to it, I guess. So anyway, what she was saying is most women don't even know that they're pregnant when they're 6 weeks pregnant. Like, you don't even take a test until you're like 2 weeks late on your period.
Right.
Like, two weeks late is 6 weeks pregnant, by the way, guys. Like, that's, so if we can't, a doctor doesn't want to see you unless you're 2 weeks late, 14 days late. And then that is exactly 6 weeks pregnant. So how can you tell us that we only have that 6 weeks? We don't have sex and go, hey, I'm pregnant. It happened tonight. Like, have these men ever had sex with a woman? Have they had children?
I mean, let's be honest here. What story do they believe the most?
Well, yes, they believe in immaculate conception. That is their favorite story. And their second favorite story is that women were made out of dirt in the rib of a man.
And do you know that this was years ago that they asked that to med students at a college, and all but one of the med students, they were like first or second year meds, I don't know, but all but one of them thought that men actually had one less rib than women. Yeah. Because of that story.
Yes. Was that at Liberty?
I can't remember where it was now, but it was so funny to me at the time. And I was probably in my early 20s, so I wasn't even into all this like I was still subscribing myself.
Yeah,
and I remember it being funny then when I read it, like maybe I should go to med school.
Right. I think I'm a genius. Angel Eyes, what's up? I've heard about you. I've never seen you in our chats before, but you're a wanted individual on these YouTube streets. How are you? Welcome. Not everyone can sense that 6 weeks is ridiculous. I agree, Shyla. Like, I think with both of my pregnancies, well, I've had 4 pregnancies and 2 miscarriages. And I think with all 4, I knew before 6 weeks, except for the first one. I think my first one, I didn't realize until I was about 8 weeks pregnant, if I remember correctly, but the other ones I knew right away. So not right away, not that night, but you know what I'm saying? Like, my period isn't here. What's going on?
Well, and you have some people whose periods aren't on a routine.
Right.
So they definitely wouldn't suspect anything immediately.
No. So at this birthday party that I was at over the weekend, there was a woman there that was about 7 months pregnant, and she loved my shirt. We were having a conversation, and she was like, I want
Well, you got to tell them what your shirt said.
Oh, so I wore the shirt that Stacy got me on Mother's Day, that says Pro Row 1973, and it's the cutest shirt, by the way. And I've ordered like 80 more shirts about being a feminist, and I have a lot of them. But I wore this one because I was like, okay, where I'm going, these people are all trumpeteers. Like, they are the biggest Trumpers ever. And I'm about to go to this party with all these people and hang out all day. And then I'm going to have to, like, I know that there's going to be opinions, and I just want to turn heads. Like, I want to get into a fight with a Republican idiot today. So I wore my shirt. Everyone loved it. Everyone was like, I love your shirt. And I did have one woman who said, "Well, but we still have plan B, like the morning after pill." And I was like, "Not if they take away contraception." Like, but that's, I was like, "That's considered contraception. That's going too." And I just thought that was a really stupid answer. Like, well, you still have this one thing you can do if all your
So,
other rights are taken away.
and hopefully you weigh under like 155 pounds or something, because after that, it stops being less and less effective. And you did it immediately after because it gets less and less effective as your 3-day window closes.
Right. Right. It's nothing is 100% like the contraception. What It's not how 100% in either direction. So, um, yeah. Anyway, so there's this woman there that was like 7 months pregnant, and I said, I think that we should pass a law that men have to have vasectomies. Like, let's take their rights away. You have to have a vasectomy and see how they feel about that. And she was like, "Let me tell you a story. My husband was going in to have a vasectomy the next day, and I thought I had COVID, and my COVID test was negative. So I took a pregnancy test just in case. And here I am, like, she's 7 months pregnant." So she's like, "Fuck my life." We did not want another kid, but here I am. And, she's like, "I think if men have the right to have vasectomies or not have a vasectomy, then women should have the right to do what they want to." And I agree with that.
Well, and then another person I saw brought up, so does child support start as soon as the woman finds out she's pregnant?
Yeah, right? No.
Do you have to go ahead and carry like 50% of the health insurance cost?
Nope.
Because if we're going to look at it like that, then it needs to be looked at like that, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. I know.
And if you want to wait till birth to prove paternity, then you have to back pay all that. So ladies, keep those receipts.
I'm just, I don't know what to do, but as long as we live in a place where we don't have rights as women, I I don't know how to sleep at night anymore. I got it. I know that may sound like really dramatic, but let's face it. I don't see a way out of this.
No, like, thank goodness we have family over in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah. Better not eat food because you can choke, or don't get in a car because you could get in an accident. But yeah, that's the same as if you don't want to get pregnant, don't have sex. Be abstinent your whole life.
I missed the first. Yeah, most women don't know until 10 weeks. Yeah, like, you got to remember, every election has consequences, and we're going to be living with the consequences of everyone being like, this man that said you're fired on TV is going to do great, because he was able to completely waste an entire fortune over and over again. And we thought it was so funny because of how, like, isn't it funny how he talks and he just tells it like it is? We should vote for him. We thought that was funny, and now we have the Supreme Court we have, so don't do it again.
I hope Howard Stern is threatening to run. Threatening. Like,
Don't make me do it.
I know, right? Like, please, can someone else run? I just want someone else to run. Let's just get some real people.
I'm going to write in Kim on my ballot.
I don't think I could be the president. I really don't.
I think you could. You're pretty good at time management.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not good at speeches. Like right now, I had to have some weed gummies because, you know.
Yeah, but as president, you can make that legal too.
Yeah, I'm running for president, guys. I'm going to run for president, and I really want some executive orders to come down. Like the Supreme Court needs to stop opinions immediately until further review.
Well, hi, Adam, and welcome.
Hi, Adam. I did drop the link in the chat if anyone wants to come up here and talk about how they're feeling about Roe v. Wade or gun right expansion or prayer in school and no separation of church and state. I'm here for you. I'm here for all of you for this fucked up week we've had with the Supreme Court.
I told Preston, I was like, you know, I am finally old enough this next time to run for president.
Yep. Well, speaking of, shouldn't there be like an age maximum?
I say that all the time. I'm like, how is it not ageist to have a minimum age, but not a fucking maximum age? But I'm still yelling for term limits because you have these politicians, they're like, look, we know how Washington works. If you put a new person in, they don't know how. And it's like, yeah, you guys know how it works, as in it doesn't work.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, term limits are a big deal to me as well. These career politicians just need to get the fuck out of here. I'm so over it. What did I just see in the chat? Trump got arrested today? I don't think so.
I hadn't heard that.
No. But I saw it somewhere.
I did see that that lady like testified that he threw his dinner against the wall or something because they wouldn't let him go to the Capitol on January 6th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, he incited enough. Like, he didn't need to be there.
And he was mad that more people couldn't come in to hear him at his speech because if they were to have came in, they would have had to have gone through the weapons check and, you know, turn their weapons over. So they just sat back and watched him. So it looked like nobody was there to watch his speech. And he's like, remove them and just let them come in with their weapons. They're not here to hurt me. And they're like, no, we can't do that. And he got like super pissed.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, it sounds about right. Like, I was, you know, I'm from DC. I was in the Capitol. And the amount of security that they have, and it was a day that Trump there was a parade or something. And it was blocked off forever and ever. And of course, we didn't go in, but you couldn't, like, the lines to go through the checkpoints were insane. And the Secret Service does not play around. I've been to inaugurations, and I'm here to tell you that you can't take certain size backpacks in. They look through all of your stuff. You go through more than one checkpoint before you ever get in. The barricades are real. You walk about 2 miles just to get in on the National Mall. It's
a guy that a few years older than me wanted to become a Secret Service agent, which I don't know if he ever did, but they showed up at the school to talk to like our principal and stuff. And this was years after he'd graduated, just to find out like what kind of person he was and things like that. So like they do not play around. It's not an easy process to become a Secret Service agent, and they take it very, very, very seriously.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And you can never ever have a criminal record, even if it was expunged if it's like sealed because you were a juvenile. They won't allow it with the Secret Service. And you know, a lot of people, when you say Secret Service, people are like, oh, they protect the president. Well, there's a lot of them. They do a lot of different things. The Secret Service are the people who are involved in all of finding all of the counterfeit money in the United States and getting rid of it and catching those people. They chase that money down. They do a lot of different things, but the ones that are tasked with protecting the president or any member of government, those guys, you don't want to cross them. They shoot first and ask questions later. So yeah, they would not allow guns in any, that would make their job so difficult. Not okay.
They get up and go to work every day knowing that they will absolutely have to take a bullet for somebody.
Yeah. Like, I could die today and have to do it.
They will not be able to wait outside handcuffing parents
and muster. These fucking assholes too.
Without even checking to see if the doors are open or trying to do anything. They would not be able to do that.
Nope, they wouldn't. So frustrating. All of it. But we're going to keep our babies in the wombs just as safe as our babies in schools. Thank you, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yes.
You're a see you next
She's
Tuesday,
such a
for real.
dumb bitch.
Yeah, she is. Yep, she is.
It almost made me feel bad, like I should have voted as a Republican in the primary just so I could have helped vote in somebody else. But like the only other person that was really running against her was the guy that quit the right-wing talk radio show because they were going to make him get a vaccine. So like that would have been the only other option.
That's like 6 in one, half dozen in another.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck both of those guys.
It was Doc Washburn.
Oh, okay. All right, Doc. Well, I'm sorry you didn't want to get your government poison.
He's like, I'm going to start my own podcast. It's like, good luck.
Yeah. Yep.
Because nobody's searching for that.
There's still doctors telling women not to get vaccines.
Because they're pregnant.
Yep. And and you know what? I am going to talk about this for a second, and I'm going to get on a soapbox, and I don't fucking care if I offend any of you. I am not sorry. I'm not. But I'm going to tell you a story. So, number one, you all know what I went through last year, and the doctor that cared for my husband in the hospital, I was having a conversation with him and said to him, can you believe the EMTs that came to my house told me that they were not vaccinated? And isn't it a requirement? And he was like, I'll give you an even better scenario that you can't believe. He said, the woman that I was caring for last week was pregnant and she did not get a vaccine because her OBGYN told her not to. And guess what? The baby is alive. The mother is not. Second story. My sister works in a children's hospital on a NICU floor full of sick babies. And let me tell you how overrun they were for the last 2 years because they have a bunch of babies with no mothers sitting in those NICUs, and those nurses are now their mothers because those women did not get vaccines. So fuck everybody who thinks that it's okay to not get it and to feel that way, because it's not okay. It's not okay. At this point, it's negligence. At this point, it's just pure idiocracy. And I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I feel sorry for you if that's how you feel about things. Honestly, like I just can't. There's just no. Sorry, Stacey. I'm putting out. This is my opinion. This is not. I don't know if this is Stacey's opinion.
And
I know Stacey's opinion. I don't know what she wants to say right now, but I cannot sit back any longer and let people do this, because what happens is we get dumb shit like this where we now don't have Roe v. Wade as precedent anymore. It gets overturned. When people spread falsehoods and rumors and lies and opinions that you read off of fucking Facebook and everywhere else, you vote wrong. You vote for people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You put people in power who allow this bullshit to happen. And now women are not equal to men. And we never will be. So fuck it. Fuck everyone who thinks like that. It's not about vaccines. It's about the fact that you are not doing your fucking homework and you're not actually researching anything. If you're going to sit here and say, "Well, I heard this and I heard that and I read this on Facebook." It's lies. It's all lies. I'm done.
No, I was just going to say, I sent you a clip of my favorite comedian making a point about vaccines, and that, I feel the exact same way you do. But it's like the people that like to say it's poison, they're just trying to put poison in your body and stuff. He points out, so what you're trying to say is the government is using this vaccine to control the population, and their plan is to get rid of the people who listen to what they say.
I know. I love that. I love that clip. Like, I love it so much. Because he's right. Like, if the government just wants people to follow them, they're not going to try and get rid of the people who dissent. That doesn't make sense.
You're like, all right, we're going to be left with all the people who question everything just like we need it. Like, no.
Nope.
So if they are using it as a way to like thin the herd, you better get on this side of the herd, because guess which part of the herd they're probably going to keep.
Yeah, right. I just, guys, I don't know. I guess until you live it, you're more willing to believe bullshit. But I lived it. And I'm here to talk about it. And I'm here to tell you that I stood on a COVID ward and watched people die in front of me. I watched the doctor that called my husband's time of death run out of his room and did not even have time to speak to me because he had to go try to save someone else. And 3 people died while I was there. So, people who are like, "I don't know, Kim, I don't believe it." Like, fuck you. It's insane.
It's my right.
Yeah, it's their right. It's their right to deny health care, but it's not my right to have health care.
Exactly. And then, you have these states that when they passed the marketplace, they made it to where you're pretty much not eligible. So that way the prices in the marketplace are not low for people who need to purchase insurance from these marketplaces. Because, that's what brings insurance prices down, are the more people that are on the policy.
Right.
So if your company offers you insurance, you can't buy from these policies. So that eliminates anyone who has a job whose company offers insurance. So even if it would be cheaper to get it through the marketplace, you don't have that option. You have to pay for your employer-sponsored one, even if their plan is worse than what you would be able to get on the marketplace.
Right.
So they do not want you to have health care.
I looked up the marketplace. The marketplace is, by the way, pretty difficult.
It cut out for a second.
Oh, I was saying the marketplace is really difficult to navigate. And
Yes.
I looked it up because I was looking up for a friend of mine, and it's like you can't even sign up unless it's October or if you have a sudden life change, just like what your employer sponsored program would do. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if this is socialized medicine, why can't anyone just go on the marketplace and sign up for healthcare? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because like, and that's what kills me when people say stuff like, if you don't like your job, just leave. The way the healthcare is designed keeps people at these jobs. Like, I'm lucky enough I don't have a very expensive prescription that I have to fill every month, but people with diabetes that have to get like insulin, it's really really expensive without insurance. If you leave your job, you can't afford insurance through the marketplace, and if you get a new job, your insurance doesn't kick in for most of the time like 90 days. So what are you supposed to do to pay for your insulin for those 3 months? Well, I can tell you, you don't leave your job. You stay in the job, and that takes away your bargaining skills. It's like everything they do with our healthcare hurts us economically.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And I mean, I think that we have a really messed up system anyway, but we're just constricting it more and more and more. Yeah, Rose, yes. Yes, I have been actually. I have lost friends, like close friends, people that I have known my whole life because of it. People who came to my husband's funeral but then refused to get vaccinated. And I would not allow them around my children or anyone else in my family. And so they decided that my friendship wasn't worth it. It's wild. Adam, I don't know about this chemical. I'll look it up though.
Yeah, that sounds like that could be like some Aaron Brockovich type stuff.
Yeah. I know
I
that
would.
there's always laws coming out like ban this, the BHA, was that it?
Ugh.
BHA that was in
Whenever
plastic.
I go to look up stuff that's contaminating, that's what I feel like in my head. I feel like I'm becoming Aaron Brockovich for a minute.
You're
I'm
like,
like,
I'm going to save a whole city.
yep, I'm getting to the bottom of this.
Then they're going to make a movie about me, and Julia Roberts is going to play my character.
Yes. Actually, Emma Roberts will play my character.
There you go. I would really love it if I want a movie to be made about me, and I want it to be that I fought so hard that um, I got rights back for women.
Right.
So, considering quitting my job and moving to DC, and just becoming, I don't know, domestic terrorist is what they'd probably call me.
Exactly, Stina. You're never leaving your job. The medication you take every day is 12 grand for a 30-day supply, and you pay a $50 copay.
Yep. Life-saving medication for Stina. It's ridiculous.
And that's the point I was making. Like, when you tell people, well, just quit your job, go sit the fuck down. You apparently are not ready for grown-up conversations because you're not able to use cognitive thinking skills yet, so just go sit the fuck down.
Yeah. Or why don't you just move to another state where they didn't ban abortion?
Hey, while you have no money to like pay your light bill or put gas in your car, why don't you just move to another state then?
Yeah, just find a job in another state where you like the laws and hope that they don't change the laws there. And then quit your
And
job.
just head that way. I'm sure everything will be fine when you get there.
Yep. Absolutely. People will help you along the way. Yeah. The fuck.
Yeah, go sit the fuck down. And you ever notice the people that say that shit were always people that came from a rather privileged household too?
And they're also people not affected by the laws. It's usually
Yes.
men.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, okay. Let me make your favorite
Or women who already like
legal.
subscribe to that thing too, that all babies are a gift.
Building the army of God.
Yes. Ever quiverful.
Well, I hate religion. I hate the Supreme Court. I hate anti-vaxxers. I think I've made myself clear tonight. How about you?
Yeah. Like, fuck all of you.
I'm seriously, I'm done. I'm done. Like, I cannot engage in civil conversation any longer
Like,
whenever it's an idiot on the other side of the conversation. And I'm like, you don't
even
even
like
know what
kids
the fuck
here
you're
don't
talking
have like trust funds so much as they just grew up in a house where they did not have to work when their parents were able to pay to put them through college. Sometimes they would even pay for them an apartment somewhere or help them with a down payment for a house. And those people always talk about how you just go to school and you get a good job, and the first job they got will be a contact from one of their parents who knew this person who worked for this company. And you're like, you didn't just get this stuff because you worked hard.
No. No. And you have 2.5 kids, you get married, you buy a house right away as soon as you graduate from college because you're going to be making $100,000 at least.
And you're not going to have any debt because your parents paid for it.
Yep. That's not the life I lived.
No. I wish that were the life I lived.
I don't know. I think you'd be an idiot if you did live that life. So I don't want to wish that for anybody. You know, although I will say this, I am doing a lot to make sure that my kids don't have to pay for college, that I pay for it, that like I have a lot of money saved for them and things like that. And they are spoiled and they do get everything they want in life. And I keep thinking to myself, like, how am I going to instill those hard knock life values in my kids so they have work ethic
Well,
and they
see,
understand?
you instilled something far better, and that was kindness.
Yes. So hopefully they don't turn into idiots whenever they're
And I
older.
guarantee you, as soon as they started acting entitled, you'd be like, nope, we're turning this bus around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would. I hope that I do the right thing for them. But it's always in the back of my mind. Like, are my kids
And you know, I'd call it out. I'd be like, Kim.
Yeah, your kids are being assholes right now.
Because I call it,
knock it off.
I call out Emma all the time. I'm like, I love you, kid, but you know, kids don't have that effect on me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get a call like Aunt Stacy told me that I need to shut the fuck up about and I'm gonna be like, yep, she was right.
Well,
like, were you wrong? Because you were wrong. So listen to your Aunt Stacy. Goodbye.
I mean, I am the one.
Exactly. Like, you're gonna be real with them. So, hey, I love it.
But like, seriously, your girls are like the sweetest.
You don't live here with them. So of course you think that.
I'm saying, like, seriously, if somebody needed something and Zoe had it, she would be like, let me help you.
Oh, she is a doll baby, of course. Z is a little bit more of a rambunctious, strong-willed child, if you will.
Zia would run to find you help because you needed a doll. She'd be like, I will go tell my mom that you need a doll.
Okay, so I have a story. This is a happy story. Maybe we can end on happiness because we're so angry about this stream. So at the birthday party over the weekend, there was a cupcake tower. And Zia went inside. We were all outside. And my sister comes out and she's like, I have a story to tell you. And she says, I go inside and these two guys are in there that are friends of hers. And they kind of look at me and they take their hats off and like put them in front of the table, like down by their sides in front of the table. And they're covering what's underneath the table with their hats. And I'm like, what's going on? My sister says, I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, nothing to see here. Well, apparently Zia was staring at the cupcake tower. And the guys were like, do you just want to take a cupcake? And she's like, I have to ask my mommy. And they were like, but do you? Like, you can just take one. So she goes to reach for one, and they're like, no. Get it from the back of the tower so no one even knows it's missing. So they aided and abetted my child in getting a cupcake from the back of the tower, sneaking it under the table, and then hid her while she ate it so that her aunt would not see her whenever she walked in the room.
You know, I would 1000% do that and offer the exact same advice, right?
Yes. So
I'm like, not only take it from the back, but then space them out just a little bit further apart. That way.
Right. So this is great. So then I'm talking to one of these guys that did this later on, and he was like, your daughter. And I said, listen, I heard that you aided and abetted my child in her cupcake thievery. And thank you. It was very funny. And just a minute later, here she comes bouncing out of the house. And it had been like an hour or two since this had happened. And she has a cupcake in her hand at this point. And she's bouncing out of the house. She comes bouncing over to me, stops while she's licking the icing off this cupcake, and looks at me. And I say to her, how many cupcakes have you had today? And she goes, I'm sorry. Like, she didn't even try to make up a number or lie about it at all. She just went straight in for the apology, which I thought was hysterical. And of course, everyone thought that was great.
Well, oh, it's so funny.
She's a funny one. So I think she ended up with like 4 cupcakes on Saturday. So she crashed in the car on the way home.
Well,
So
she
anyway.
had that whole package of cake pops when we left.
Oh my gosh. She's so she, like, if you don't bring her a cake pop home from Starbucks, she's giving you the evil eye. Like, who are you and why are you in my house without a cake pop? How dare you? So she's a funny kid. So that's my funny story to end on a high note after I just told everyone they could fuck off.
But those people can still fuck off.
Yeah, for real. But anyway, but my cute kid, yay story. So
And I plan on coming to see you guys soon, especially so I can see the new place.
yes, please do.
I'm
Please
like,
do.
Preston, we should be looking at real estate when we go.
Yes, you should. You can always live here if you'd like. So, I know that you would eventually want your own home, but if you want to live in my closet, you're more than welcome.
I can show people how small the space is that I live in while I'm live streaming.
You could. And you could eat lobster rolls from the Dollar Tree while you do it.
Whatever, I'm getting chicken nuggets with Zia.
Oh, and then you could like file frivolous lawsuits and,
Hey, but at least I cook really, really well, so I have that to contribute.
Yeah, you do. You would be like the chef in the house, man. I feel like a chef because I have HelloFresh and I'm like, I'm a chef because I'm chopping vegetables and following a recipe. But yeah, Stacy would totally be taking over the chef duties in this home if we were living together.
And then you have Preston to keep the kids entertained because he acts like a kid.
Oh, it would be nonstop Jenga in this bit.
She was so proud to finally beat him.
She's like waiting for him to come back to Florida so she can play Jenga. It's funny.
Like every single moment that we weren't out doing something, she's like, all right, we're going to try this again. Sit down.
You know what? I know. She was like, round 47. It's going to happen this time. Rose.
Hey, at least she doesn't give up. So maybe you did instill that work ethic into her.
Yeah, she does not give up. That is for sure. Whenever we were like painting her furniture, sanded and painted all of her furniture. It turned out really nice actually. And I'm having the inside and the outside of the house completely painted. So she wanted to pick out her own colors for her furniture and paint her room a certain color and everything. And I'm like, what? It's fine. You can do that. So house needs to be painted anyway. She got up at like 6:30 in the morning. Like, I'm ready to go. Is the sander ready? Did you plug it in? Do you know how to use it? Like, let's get out here in this garage. And I'm like, who are you? My kid that sleeps until 11 every day during the summer and doesn't want to get up and like stares at her phone all the time. But she was like ready to do that work. So it's in her. She has to want to do. She has to like her job.
Right.
So good night, Adam. And then Rose, I don't know if lobster rolls exist at the dollar store, but I think
They do
so.
exist at Walmart though for a limited time only.
Limited time only. Kind of like the McRib and the Mexican pizza. It's back to
I think it was Nikki that showed me that. I'm not sure. I stole it from somebody, but I shared that on Twitter just because I was like, "Yep, limited time only. Lobster at McDonald's."
Mm-hmm.
Which not at our McDonald's, but it's still a funny picture.
Yeah, no. I think you have to go to like Scotland for that crap.
I think it was just like the Northeast or whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, so speaking of, I fly to Boston pre-COVID. I would fly to Boston a couple times a year with work. And we would always go to the Red Sox games because we're in Boston, and like the company has tickets all the time, whatever. So we went to at the games. They seriously walk around with New England clam chowder. Like, you know how they walk around
So
with
gross.
like, yeah, they do. I was like, what is that guy saying? Chowder, get your chowder. It became the first time I went because I was like, this cannot be real. So you know how they walk around and they're like, popcorn, get your popcorn at a baseball game. This guy walked around with New England clam chowder.
And they're
No,
like, "Can I get the popcorn?"
I was like, where's the popcorn and the cotton candy guy? I need that, and the beer guy. I need those three guys. Clam chowder, get the fuck away from me.
Yes. Clam chowder is this a fucking joke?
Like, I'm sitting in the hot sun at a baseball game, and you're walking around with clam chowder on a tray. No, thank you. Was it in a bread bowl? Stina, I don't know because like, no,
They can't be like, how are they keeping that safe to eat?
I don't know. It's awful though, and people were buying it, and I'm like, there's gonna
Imagine
be like,
if I just walked around with soup and bowls. I was like, who wants some?
it's totally normal up there. It's like a normal thing, and I swear to God, like I'm sure AZ's been to a Red Sox game. Like she's had to have been to the Green Monster and seen this. Like it's a thing up there. And it's so weird because people were buying it, and all I could picture in my head was from the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous, where she's in the beauty pageant and everyone gets sick because they eat the shellfish except for Kirsten Dunst. And I'm like, I am going to be in the middle of this stadium.
The only person not sick.
Yes,
because you weren't eating the clam chowder tray.
Clam chowder. Yes. Can you imagine what that would be like? That is like my version of a nightmare. Clam chowder. That exactly. Like it's such a Boston baseball thing. Like it's a thing.
I was singing Sweet Caroline. Hey, just
Yep.
me. We're actually fixing to get off.
Yeah.
I hope you're having a good afternoon.
And welcome. Good to see you.
We aren't laughing at the beginning of the stream. We can tell you that.
No, we told a lot of people to fuck off, and I stand by it. But We're laughing now. We're ending the stream on a happy note.
But as always, if you comment something that's not vulgar, we don't delete it just because you don't agree. We might come in and make fun of you for it, but we won't delete it. Have a good night, X-Men, and have a good night, everyone else.
Bye.